Back in 2019, The New Yorker published The Age of Instagram Face, describing a new universal beauty standard created by social media. Think full lips, sculpted cheeks, flawless skin, fox eyes. The influencer look that everyone seemed to be chasing. Fast forward to today, and the conversation has shifted. The New Yorker recently published Our Plastic Surgery Nightmare. Other headlines claim that we're entering the era of slop face, while The Independent argues that social media has made everybody look the same. So what happened?
So do you remember when Instagram face first became a thing?
Yes, and I actually even remember when like Zoom face was a thing, because they were saying during the age of COVID, when people were staring at themselves all day in Zoom, people were noticing imperfections. And then that's when plastic surgery even took a new height.
I feel like that's also when people notice the facial expressions that they make. So they're like, I need to like freeze that. And that just kind of like started the beginning of the domino effect of like Botox, fillers, all this procedures, enhancements that you can do to your face.
Yeah, and I think we're in a world now where people have never seen themselves more.
Yes.
And they're perceiving themselves more. I mean, we open our phones and we see our own profile picture. We see our own content. Someone comments on a photo or video that we post. We see ourselves again.
We hang out with our friends. They post us.
Yes.
You know,
so we're seeing ourselves more than I think we realize or we ever were intended. I mean, back
and also
in the
from
day,
like different point of views, like your friends, photos taken of you, work. I mean, anywhere there's likely photos taken of you and posted, and it's just not your control.
No, and back in the day, and I say back in the day, but like even when I was like growing up, and I'm not old at all, like the only photos we had were the ones on a digital, or not even digital, go back even further, a disposable camera.
Yeah.
You printed those with film, and then when you picked them up at the CVS or at Walmart and you got your film photos back, the ones that were good were in a photo frame or an album, and the ones that weren't, they're just like tossed aside.
Like a drawer.
But you didn't have to like look at them all day every day.
They weren't just constantly like slideshows in your faces. So we just have more attention to detail, and we're just like not used to it. And we are, of course, our biggest critics. So we see these photos and we're like, ew, I have like chubby cheeks or whatever it is.
And that's like, there's even a resurgence of a lot of teenagers and like young 20s. They're finding or buying, thrifting digital cameras and using them, but old ones. And I even had somebody, because I'm doing a show now, I'm doing In the Heights, and I had somebody bring one of those cameras to a couple of rehearsals, and everyone's like, oh, wow, we all look so great. But when you realize it, it's because the quality is so poor.
So poor.
It's not focused. So you can't see every like pore. You can't see every wrinkle. You can't see every follicle with these new cameras.
I've been saying that I don't want the newest phones. I want the older phones.
I don't want myself in 4K.
I don't need HD front camera. Like I can't even like take a selfie in peace because you could see everything.
Yes, and that's why people get frustrated, and that's why I think editing became so normalized that posting an unedited photo almost felt unusual. And people were even commenting, like when celebrities would post something without all this makeup or not edited, be like, wow, she's so brave. Or you know, it's like, really? She's not fighting a war, you know? Like,
or even like pointing out the difference of like in person versus like on social media, just because the difference can be so drastic.
Yes.
And sometimes we fail or like forget to remember that, especially when we see these celebrities, influencers with perfect skin, perfect everything. That's like their image. So they just have to look perfect, but it's just really not like reality.
No. And I think that's why, you know, trends do become so powerful. And I think a lot of people they stopped asking, is this real? And it's more like, does this look Instagram worthy?
Is this good enough for my feed? Is this like good enough? Like, is my story cute? Like, go check right now.
Yeah. And then I think, you know, a question that we can digest and, you know, really take in and answer, but also kind of sit on is, have beauty standards changed because of Instagram?
Or are people simply getting tired of them?
I mean, immediately, I think fuller lips have never been more in.
Yeah.
I don't think that was like, I think people are overlining their lips, and people always, you know,
like a lip
like plumping, gloss.
Like, I remember that was a thing even like when I was younger.
Yes. But I think it's so normalized that everyone has filler or a lip flip or something.
Yeah. It's kind of just like when it becomes so popular, and it's something we can always talk about, not just with Instagram, Facebook, just becomes so popular. Like the new trend is like the opposite.
Yeah. And then now you notice though, but now you see people, you're like, wow, they don't have lips at all.
They're like dissolving their lips, or they're no longer getting it, or, you know, looking for that minimal natural look. Even for plastic surgery, it's like ballerina like breast enhancement versus like bigger cups, just because like people want the
But
opposite.
I still see the lip trend still very.
Oh yeah, it's
that
still,
one's not
still
going anywhere.
prevalent.
And
Yeah,
that's why I say I think that one is one of those where like people are noticing when people don't have it done. Like they almost look like they're not finished.
Yeah.
And I think that's because people are overdoing it. I do have some friends who may be listening who are addicted to lip filler. I'm like, they look full, girl. Like,
Yeah.
you're good. And like, oh, I need more. And
It's
people are
addicting.
addicted.
I've had friends that do the same, which I don't blame them. Like, how can you not like full look?
Yes. So I think if we're going to go back to kind of where it all kind of began, I think filters were kind of the blame because they were so normal. Especially, I don't have Snapchat anymore. I feel like a woman in her 30s or late 20s doesn't need a Snapchat account. But when I did have it, the filters were right there.
Yeah.
And obviously you would take a photo and be like, oh, jump scare. And then you use the filter and you're like, oh, wow, I look amazing.
Gorgeous.
So I think it just became easy.
That's just how we got used to seeing ourselves and how we got used to seeing each other. Same with Snapchat filters is FaceTune editing apps. It's like you cannot post that group photo. I have to edit it on FaceTune.
Yes. There was, I went to a friend's birthday a few weeks ago and we took a great group photo and someone in the group was like, well, I'm going to edit everyone first. And she did and then posted it.
I hate that.
And it was like, oh, like what? You can't say anything to that, you know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, everyone looks great. Like, but like I didn't mind us all being real.
I remember like I had a lot of friends that went to FSU and it was like you'll know the FSU like orange filter.
Oh yes.
And I hated that. I was like, take that off.
Oh yes. And then also Perfect 365 was an app everyone used in college. And they were encouraging people like to add eyelashes.
It can like whiten your teeth.
Yes.
It can put on makeup,
contour you. Yes.
It's insane. Like blush. Like you said, contour.
Yes. No, I don't mind. Like I've had group photos where like I've had a friend be like, oh my God, I forgot to put my lipstick on and it looks weird. And like, okay, I can add lipstick to you. Like that's not changing you. That is fine. But it's when people start to like make face thinner, make eyes bigger.
Yeah.
Make like changing.
Enhance it. It's
facial
like,
features.
Like my day-to-day makeup is like an enhancement, not to just like
of course
change my face.
Yes.
So same thing with these apps. If we're going to use it, you know.
I think a lot too is copying influencers. A lot of people wanted to look like Kylie and Kendall for a while.
King Kylie era.
Yes. You had you have a lot of different beauty influencers and beauty editors, you know, posting these people and writing about them. And I think a lot of it is like, well, if she looks like that, I want to look like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like great marketing because it's something we'll talk about. It's like just like the lip kits, you know, like how to achieve that look. You know, it was genius.
Yes.
So I don't blame them, but it was definitely like an epidemic in like 2016.
For sure. And algorithms reward familiar aesthetics because algorithms are rewarding repetition.
Yeah.
And the more people interact with a certain look, style, or trend, the more the platforms are going to push it.
So there is a reason why everyone was doing that and why, you know, if you were an influencer on the rise or, you know, in that realm, you jumped on that wagon and it worked because, like we just said, the algorithm is rewarding you and your content.
Yeah, and I think the interesting part is that nobody, we think, is intentionally wanting to look like everybody else. I think more people just want to look like the best version of themselves. And when you're scrolling at a phone all day long and seeing, you know, people that you admire, people you look up to, or people who are getting a lot of attention, it naturally becomes that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's same just like in social media in itself. It's like, obviously, we all just want to share like the better parts of our lives. So we just want to share our best version, so it's natural, but it did become a problem of, you know, Instagram face.
Yeah, and it's psychology. The more we're exposed to something, the more familiar it becomes, and our brains naturally start to accept it as the norm. I remember, you know, like seeing people with cell phones or Apple Watches, and like in the beginning, like people having a cell phone out and about, that wasn't that normal. Now everyone's like, if you're walking without a phone in your hand, like it's
you
shocking.
Notice immediately.
Or like when Apple Watches first came out and I was that person who like lined up and got the first Apple Watch, I felt like Inspector Gadget and thought like everyone who had it, it looked out of place.
Yeah.
Now it's like
the norm. Yeah.
So I think same thing with beauty standards.
Yeah. So do you think TikTok has made this better or worse?
I think personally I can answer that I think it's made it better. I think TikTok really does push authentic content, and people are not afraid to post themselves looking, you know, no makeup, hair rolled out of bed.
Woke up.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I love, and that's like the content that strives better, but also feel like also a little bit because it's a trend. So like that authenticity is a trend. Same with like clean girl aesthetic, mob wife. So these trends, you know, they can circulate really fast. So the two can definitely mix, but I think for the better, for especially TikTok over Reels.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a household, I guess you can call it a Hispanic household, but like you weren't going in public not looking put together.
Yeah.
Like my mom would call us like a ragamuffin if we looked like not put together.
Agreed.
Yeah. And like I think sometimes that generation is lost as well. And there's a difference of being put together and like clean versus overdoing it or underdoing it.
Yeah.
And it's finding that balance. And actually when I was in a sorority at FSU, it was interesting because whether you like it or not, people are perceiving you and your appearance.
And impressions.
Always. Yes.
First impressions.
They do. So when I was in a sorority, they instilled in us the 2-3 rule, which people who hate sororities are going to really hate this, but some people might love it. And I've instilled this in my adult life. The 2-3 rule is outfit, makeup, hair. And basically all it says is in life, you should have 2 of the 3 when you leave the house and you're always going to look put together.
Agreed.
And it's true. Because even if I'm going to the gym, I'm not doing my makeup at the gym, right?
No.
Like no way. But I'll wear a nice set because I'm working out with people. I'm not like, you know, in my backyard or whatever. And then I'll make sure my hair is put together of somewhat, whether
like
it's in a
back or
slick or a hat or a braid.
Yeah.
And people think like, oh, she's got her life together. And it should look that way. I run a business, you know, like I want people to hire me. Who's going to hire someone for social media if I'm to manage their brand and their reputation if mine looks like a hot mess express?
Agreed. Yeah. My mom would always, even to go to the airport and, you know, why are you in a leisure? You know, why, you know, this, you know, it's just a privilege and like to travel. That goes like way back more.
It does. And actually,
but you should like be presentable because you know you're arriving to this place. Like, why do you look bad?
Yeah,
like,
and
you don't need to be like in pajamas.
No, and this might be more before your time a bit, but when I was growing up, we would get sometimes on standby for flights because my grandfather worked for American.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realized it, but first class and business class literally meant business class. So people were dressed up to fly first class, like heels, skirts or dress. And if I was flying standby and if I wasn't dressed up, I wouldn't get the upgrade. I would have to sit in like the regular seats, which was fine because I was just trying to get on the plane. But basically, it was instilled that you have to
class.
like, or just to get on the plane. What if that's the only seat left?
Yeah.
And I'm in sweatpants and they say, sorry, we can't get you on the plane because you're not adhering to dress code. A lot of planes had dress codes.
Yeah.
And I've always kept that in mind, even like traveling and whatnot, because you know what? Sometimes it does lead to an upgrade.
Yeah.
It does lead to something free.
And like you're saying for the gym, even, you know, coming to work, even if it's, I only talk to you really, you know, in this office, or if no one's in the office that day, just like feel good, look good is as cliche and common as it is. Same, it applies, you know. If I don't feel good, I'm not going to want to do a good workout. You know, I'm not going to want to work well. I'm not going to want to sit on a plane. So I think that's like a good beauty standard that we've held.
And I'm going to ask you now, do you think comparison is worse now than it was 10 years ago?
I think, like you said, we have like an oversaturation of seeing ourselves. So back then we used to compare ourselves to, you know, A-list celebrities on TV and magazines, which is normal. You know, those people have full-time editors in production, perfecting the lighting, everything. So that was like a bit more of a normal. But now we are seeing people that we grew up with do a complete 180 in their appearance and all these enhancements. And then same with like everyday people, your coworkers, your acquaintances, like you see all of them in social media just looking absolutely to the T, you know, perfect.
Yes.
So it's just, we have more people to compare ourselves to.
It's true. And if we're, you know, kind of jumping on to the next, it's that this isn't just happening with beauty, it's happening with brands. Everyone uses the same hooks, the same B-roll, the same trending audio, the same AI captions, the same Canva templates. Everything does start to look identical.
Yes. I mean, I've seen it. And if you're just scrolling on TikTok, it's get ready with me or let's do this. You know, every opening, it's like hard not to because like that's just how you want to talk. But again, it's just like redundant because that's what everyone's using.
Yeah. So it kind of leads to trend fatigue. I think a lot of trends have a shorter lifespan than they used to because people are just using them, abusing them, and then on to the next one.
Yeah. So it can also make brands feel like they're interchangeable and just like not sticking to their core. So the best thing you can do as like a marketer is just like choose wisely and just choose what like you believe in. You know?
Yes. And that's where that whole like copying can increase short-term visibility, but it's not an entire strategy. We've had, like, for example, we actually had this in a call today with a client with the Empire State Building couple that like got proposed, and they had the banner and a lot of brands were jumping on it, like buy my products, blah, blah, blah. Well, it almost got oversaturated.
Yeah.
And it almost killed that a lot of brands I saw who posted it, they actually archived or deleted it and took it down because it was too many.
Yeah.
And it's one of those
things. You don't want to
things
be one
of
of
like,
those people who it's like, oh, everyone's doing it and you're like part of the everyone category.
exactly. If you want to jump on a trend every now and then when it fits, sure. But that's not your main strategy.
Agreed. And then that also goes into like why copying works. You know, sometimes we'll look at other brands within the realm and seeing, you know, what new practices or what they're introducing for inspiration. But there's no way you can really just copy if you really have a strong brand.
Yeah, and I think being recognizable is more important than being trendy. Being able to recognize like, oh, I know them, or oh, I've heard of them.
I know
that
voice,
makes sense.
that style.
Exactly.
Just like a strong message. The irony is that social media rewards authenticity, but it also encourages conformity.
Yeah, you want
reach, you want engagement, but if you chase every trend, you eventually lose the thing that made you different in the first place.
Yeah, so I think the big question to ask, you know, our listeners and ourselves is how do you stay current without becoming a copy? Yeah. I think, you know, you have to, if I'm answering it, I feel like you have to adhere to trends and maybe beauty standards and outfits and things that make sense or that align.
Yeah.
And then kind of don't, the ones that don't.
Should everyone have a recognizable style?
I mean, yes. It's like your brand.
It's like, duh.
Yes. It's the brand.
It's just, you know, coming up with your own ideas and just really the why you started this brand. It's usually just because you see like a lack of in that realm. You know, why someone starts business. I saw that they didn't have, like, no one else is doing XYZ like I am. So just keeping true to that.
Yes, keeping that in mind for sure.
Is being yourself actually becoming the biggest trend?
I said if in one of the last episodes, like if I had $1 for every time the word authentic or authenticity came up, I would be
on calls,
you know, a couple $100 richer.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It does help. It does. And that is the biggest trend. We can't replicate ourselves, and AI can't replicate us. So it's important to be yourself.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone struggling with comparison online?
I think to like honestly touch grass.
Yeah.
Like do yoga, get outside.
I think.
And maybe post. There was a creator I saw on TikTok the other day. And it was great. She talked about how she went like 2 or 3 months without consuming content, but posting content to challenge herself. So she was posting like 2 to 3 videos a day, but not allowing herself to watch.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge.
Yeah.
But she wanted to get out of her head and push herself.
I think that's what I was about to say. I think if you've gotten to that point, it's time to like take a step back and like stop over consuming and over indulging and like vicariously living through like these brands or creators that you are consuming from. And maybe you just need to do, and like you just said, like a full like hiatus, you know, delete Instagram off your app or, you know, minimize your scroll time and just post, you know, if you're like a personal
or hire
brand
us,
or
we'll post for you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's ways to get around it, but I think if you're there, it's time to like rethink.
Exactly. So let's play a rapid fire game. We're going to say trend or timeless. So lip filler.
Timeless.
What? That's a trend.
No.
You think it's like, timeless? That's a trend. I don't think that's going to last.
I think you can do it like naturally. I think the trend of the over.
Yeah, no, I think it's a trend.
I think it's timeless.
You think it's okay? In 50 years, I want to look back at this episode. That's a why. That's a Gen Z response there. FaceTune trend.
Yeah.
Matching Instagram feeds trend. I think people are going away from that. People used to really have trendy, matchy feeds. I think more authentic feeds we'll see.
Yeah, I think that was like more of a thing even like when I was like in like high school, like early high school. It was like look at my feed because that was like before like photo dumps and everything. So
which leads to the next one, photo dumps
trend.
I think actually I'm going to say timeless in a sense of now the word photo dump is a trend, but I think timeless in the sense of even before Facebook albums, there was just regular photo albums. So I think collections and curated photo moments will continue. I think just the way it's displayed will change.
I think how people are talking about, I've seen a reel, it's like how to create the perfect photo dump. That's like ridiculous. Yes. I hate that.
But for myself, so like I do a monthly photo dump, but it doesn't mean, so we're in July. It doesn't mean I have 7 posts on my feed. I'll interrupt my monthly photo dumps and post like a moment if I think it deserves its own carousel.
Yeah.
And then if the other stuff, I'll throw it into the photo dump that didn't make it.
Yeah.
So I've gone away from like, I'm only going to do monthly posts. But I have some friends who have kept to that. And then I have some friends who don't do photo dumps at all and they just post what they want to post.
I love like a single post or like just like 2 or 3 posts from like a good photo and then like do a dump. I don't know. It's
exactly.
There's no like perfect formula. I think that like photo dump term is like trend, but the timelessness obviously of like photo albums and taking all these photos, like that's
going to stay somewhere. AI generated headshots, obviously
awful
a trend. Heavy beauty filters.
I feel like
a trend. I don't think they're going to last.
It could be timeless. Well, like people are going to keep it. Like, I don't know.
Yikes. I hope not. No makeup.
That's a trend.
I think that's timeless.
But I like it.
I think not.
No, because like in 2016 specifically, it was like the opposite. It was like cut crease, heavy
But I think there's always going to be people who will lean into that. I don't think I want to participate in that, but I think people will lean into that. So we'll see.
I don't know. Trendy audio,
trend. Personal storytelling, timeless.
Yeah.
I mean, stories are being told even before we had like
that's like how
when cavemen were writing in caves.
That's like original Facebook.
Unfiltered content,
timeless.
I think that's going to have to continue.
Yeah,
it's going to. So as we wrap up this episode, we can just go over some key takeaways. Social media doesn't just influence beauty, it really influences behavior as well.
Trends can inspire, but they shouldn't erase individuality.
The strongest personal brands aren't copies, they're recognizable because they are authentic.
Whether you're building a face, a feed, or a business, standing out will always outperform blending in.
And as AI makes content easier to create, originality becomes even more valuable.